Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ, as it was prescribed for those people before you. We mentioned that Arabs used to fast Ashura, which means that they knew observing fast is part of worship, of ibadah. Jews used to fast Ashura as well, and they have their own fasting rules. Some of them mention that they fast from sunset to the sunset of the next day. Some others mention other things. I'm not very good in their ahkam, their rules, but we know that they used to fast, and they observe fasting as a part of ibadah. They observe Sawm Yom al-Ghufran, day of Ghufran, forgiveness, and the other day, the 9th of Ab, etc. Anyway, so they have their own fasts rules. And Nasara, Christians as well, they fast and they still fast, but they have their different rules, and because they are different sects, they have different type of fasting, etc. So people before us used to fast, and we mentioned that this is one of the encouragement for us as a believers to observe fasting. Why? Because fasting is prescribed for those people before us who are our competitors. So they used to compete with us, and they are still competing with us because they did the bit, they fasted and they did their ibadah. It's our turn now to compete with them, to do our ibadah, to observe our fast properly, or maybe better than them if we can. لعلكم تتقون. Word لعلكم, it's one of the problematic term in the Quran, and actually I cannot go in details about this because it needs a really high level of Arabic language for the listeners to understand this. But generally speaking, when it comes to Quran, the Quran is the miracle of the Prophet ﷺ. And Arabs used to know this. That's why the meanings of the Quran, the wordings of the Quran were very, very powerful in terms of Arabic language. As the Prophet ﷺ, إِنَّ مِنَ الْبَيَانِ لَسِحْرًا, some eloquent speech is as effective as magic. And this is for the one who understands the language. So when the Arabs, especially Bedouins, those who have very high level of Arabic language, listened to the Quran, when they heard the Quran, they knew these wordings, these words are not from human being. It's impossible. It's very high level of language. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down the Quran to the Prophet ﷺ, he indicated to this meaning, to this miracle, by showing the Arabs that these words, although Arabic words, but the meaning with the words are completely different from the one you have. It's higher than the language you used to use. For example, the Arab did not like to have one letter repeated in one sentence. When they do this, they consider this as a wrong way of Arabic language. Why? Because you will find it difficult to pronounce the sentence or the poem or whatever. So they do not like it. They do not like to repeat the same words or the same letters. For example, they have a poem say, وَقَبْرُ حَرْبٍ بِمَكَانٍ قَفْرِ وَلَيْسَ قُرْبَ قَبْرِ حَرْبٍ قَبْرُ. It's difficult. I'm struggling to read this. But when the Quran came, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in many verses one letter, or repeated one letter in the same verse, and when the Arab read this, they found it easy to read, easy to understand, which is something that they used to find it so difficult to do. Like for example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, قِيلَ يَا نُوحُ اهْبِطْ بِسَلَامٍ مِنَّا وَبَرَكَاتٍ عَلَيْكَ وَعَلَى مِمَّن مَّعَكَ وَأُمَمٌ سَنُمَتِّعُهُمْ ثُمَّ يَمَسُّهُمْ مِنَّا عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned meme here 15 times, 16 times actually, and still easy to read, easy to read, easy to memorize, easy to understand. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in another verse, وَاتْلُ عَلَيْهِمْ نَبَأَ ابْنَيْ آدَمَ بِالْحَقِّ إِذْ قَرَّبَا قُرْبَانًا فَتُقُبِّلَ مِنْ أَحَدِهِمَا وَلَمْ يُتَقَبَّلْ مِنَ الْآخَرِ قَالَ لَأَقْتُلَنَّكَ قَالَ إِنَّمَا يَتَقَبَّلُ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْمُتَّقِينَ. So look at this, the letter Qaf. It's difficult. It's one of the difficult letters. It's strong letter. It's repeated 10 times here, but the verse is still easy to read, easy to memorize, easy to understand. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. And we have indeed made the Quran easy to understand and remember. Then is there any that will remember? So Quran is easy to understand, easy to remember. لعل here, as I said, I'm not going to go in details, but as it's translated, you may become al-muttaqeen. You may become one of the muttaqeen, pious people. The fasting may lead you to become a pious person. This is the easy way of translating this. Otherwise, we can spend 1 hour explaining in details the linguistic meaning of la'alla in this verse. So you fast Ramadan, you observe fasting Ramadan, you follow the rules, the commands of Ramadan. Why? This could make you one of the pious people, one of the muttaqeen. So what's piety? Piety is easy to describe, easy to define, easy to explain. Everybody understands that when we say taqwa, piety, we mean that you protect yourself. You protect yourself from the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by keeping away from the wrong things, from the haram, prohibited issues, and by involving and doing the good things, the commands that are preferable or compulsory. This is the taqwa. And when you protect yourself from the hellfire, that means you are upon the taqwa. You are a pious person. And taqwa has signs. Taqwa has signs. One of the signs of the taqwa, as mentioned by Hassan al-Basri, is to tell the truth. One of the signs of the taqwa is to fulfill your covenant or your oath. One of the signs of the taqwa is to keep the relationship with your relatives strong. One of the signs of the taqwa to be merciful, very helpful to the weak and needy. One of the signs of the taqwa to keep away from arrogance, from being proud of yourself in a wrong way. One of the signs of the taqwa to give and donate generously. One of the signs of the taqwa is to have a good manner, to be a good pious person. If you meet the conditions of the taqwa and you fulfill that, then you will benefit in this world and in the hereafter. In this world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about the taqwa, وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مِنْ أَمْرِهِ يُسْرًا. And whosoever fears Allah and keeps his duty to him, He will make his matter easy for him. So all your matters that you are concerned about them in this world, Allah will make it easy for you, will make them easy for you because of you are a pious person and you deserve this. وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ. Being a pious person will help you to get more sustenance, more rizq, which is one of the most important issues that we are worried about. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and whosoever fears Allah and keeps his duty to him, He will make a way for him to get out of every difficulty, and He will provide him from sources he never could imagine. This is in this world. This is the benefit that you gain from the taqwa in this world. This is the reward in this world. In the hereafter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned that al-Jannah, the paradise, would be only for the al-muttaqeen. تلك الجنة التي نورث من عبادنا من كان تقيا. such is the paradise which we shall give as inheritance to those of our slaves who have been al-muttaqeen. So it will be only for al-muttaqeen. And not only this, when we pass upon the bridge, which is the most difficult part in the hereafter, before we reach the Jannah, who will save you from the bridge? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from falling down in the Jahannam. Allah will save you. And what's the reason of, what the means of the protection there is piety. ثُمَّ نُنَجِّي الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا وَنَذَرُ الظَّالِمِينَ فِيهَا جُثِيًّا. Then we shall save those who used to fear Allah, muttaqeen, and were dutiful to Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. So basically, to sum up, fasting Ramadan is an intensive course. It's like, when you have a police officer or someone that you need to prepare for an important job, you need to give him a course. Prepare him for 1 month, 1 year, 5 years. It depends on the course, the length of the course. But the main purpose of this course to prepare him. So he will deal with some issues in that course before he start practicing this in the real life. So the same Ramadan, you are controlling yourself, abstaining from eating, drinking, sexual intercourse, etc. Why is this? To prepare yourself when you come out from Ramadan and you involve in this world, in this difficult world, this world full of trials, full of tests, you will have ability to deal with this. Why? To deal with these fitan, trials, to deal with these obstacles between you and the Jannah. Why? Because you have already had training in Ramadan, one intensive course, 1 month of intensive course of dealing and controlling yourself and abstaining from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told you to abstain from, will help you in the 11 months to control yourself and keep away from all the haram, prohibited issues. Wallah subhanahu wa ta'ala alam. We will complete inshallah the second section of this dars by explaining the next verse.